Good morning, friends. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here in Washington State. The sun is up. It's 31 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a beautiful time to take a walk. And today we're gonna talk about what to expect when you marry an American and live in America. To those of you who don't know me yet, so I'm Arlene, a Filipina living here in Washington State for 3 years now. I am married to my American husband and we have a cutie little daughter and a husky. Just a little disclaimer before I start sharing my list. I just want to say that everything that I'm gonna be sharing here are solely based on my experiences and my observations after living here for 3 years. I forgot to bring gloves and it's so cold holding my phone out. Oh my gosh. Americans hate queues, like long queues. They don't like to wait in line. Like, there've been several instances when me and my husband go to a fast food chain, and there's like 3, 4, 5 cars lining up, and my husband's like, oh no, there's no way I'm gonna be waiting on that line. So yeah, and like in the Philippines, we're very patient when it comes to lines. Like, we're used to it. But here in America, because everything is pretty instant, their technology is way advanced compared to what we have in the Philippines. So waiting in line is like a suffering that they don't want to endure. So they expect that even if how much you crave for say for example a nugget or chicken nuggets from Wendy's, for example, no matter how much you want to eat chicken nuggets, but if there's a line in there, expect that you're not gonna get a chicken nugget because your husband doesn't want to wait in line. You've probably known this already, but I just want to add here that, well, Americans, they're very vocal and they don't mince words. Like, if they don't like what you do, they're gonna tell you up front, and they're not gonna be mincing words, like I said, and they're gonna tell you how they really feel. And to us Filipinas, because we're not used to it, it's like super offensive to us and our feelings are hurt. So what you gotta do, instead of sulking, then just tell your husband what you like of what he did to you, and that will pretty much solve the differences right there and then. Like, no more sulking. And speaking of sulking, they don't really like sulking. Like, they hate it so much. And don't wait for the time when your husband give that dose of medicine to you, because it doesn't feel good, really. Because my husband have done that to me. Like, I sulked, I tempoed him, and then he tempoed me back, and I didn't like it. So from that time on, I told myself that if there's something that I didn't like from what my husband did to me, then I'm just gonna tell him right away. No need to sulk. But yes, you can help it, but don't drag it for days, or don't drag it even like more than a day. It's not good. In a healthy relationship, open communication is the key. If you come here in America on a fiancé visa, you're not gonna be able to work right away because you have to file for adjustment of status and then wait for your work permit before you can even work. And sometimes it can take a long time, like what happened to mine, because it was pandemic happened. So that's that. So it took like 9 months instead of 3 months for me to get my work permit. Now, and of course, during that time, your husband will be working. And there's a big likelihood for most of the Filipinos, like me, that when we come here in America, we don't know how to drive and we don't have that work permit. So pretty much during those times, we are left in the house. So it's understandable that during weekends, we want to explore, see places, things like that. But because your husband has been working for the whole week, he just wanted to stay home. And don't be surprised, most Americans, they prefer to be home. They don't want to be going out and about. And to Filipinas who's new to a new place, you wanted to explore, see places. Doesn't mean to be expensive. it could mean like just go for a walk in a park or something like that. But to your American, because it's just normal to them, it's like it's no fun. There's no thrill to that. He doesn't want to do that, but to you, you want to do it. So there's a conflict there on how to entertain yourself, so you're not gonna be super homesick, and at the same time, a balance for your husband to have the rest that he badly needed because he's been working for a week, right? So what I'm gonna tell you now is that, yeah, you can't expect that your husband will be able to take you to places wherever you want. So just control your expectations, and it would be best if you have a hobby for yourself. Your husband might be husband's hobby might be woodworking, or like in my case, my husband loves video games and saltwater reef keeping. Then find a hobby that you would be happy to do, like without your husband, because sometimes, yeah, even if we're married, we have to do something separately, right? Yeah. So if you don't like, for some reason, if you don't like the hobby of your husband, then find your hobby that you love. It could be gardening, crocheting, or sewing, or things like that. But yeah, just find something to entertain yourself. All right, next, you have to remember that one of the biggest reasons why Americans go to the Philippines and seek their bride from there, because Filipinas are traditional wives, and that's what they love. They love to be like a king, to be served by their wives. So when you get here in America, don't forget that. Stay traditional. I know you will encounter some women who will tell you otherwise, and because that happened to me. So, but don't be persuaded. Don't be influenced by those kind of women. Stay traditional as you are, because that was the reason why your husband loved you, and that was the reason why they looked for wives outside their country. And I just have to insert that in here, because yes, Americans love traditional wives. They love being pampered by their wives. Just like my husband, it could be like a simple meal, or a back massage, or a foot massage, or things like that. But yeah, they just want to feel like they're kings. I know there are some women who are saying that Americans are going to Philippines to look for their wives because they're looking for women who they can abuse. But that's not true at all, and we're gonna talk about that in a separate video. All right, number 5. So America is the land of opportunities, but it doesn't mean that Americans or all Americans are rich. Yes, by our living standards in the Philippines versus their living standards here in America, you can certainly say that they're well off compared to us. Doesn't mean that they are rich. That's why it's just so funny when like people in the Philippines would know that you are dating an American, or you'll be flying to America, or you'll be marrying an American. They will immediately judge you that you are marrying that person for his money. They don't know that life here in America is not easy. Like I said, America is a land of opportunities, but it's very expensive here. So if you don't work, you don't get to live the life that you want. But that's the beauty of America. It's for people who are hardworking. It's for people who have dreams and are willing to work for those dreams, because there's a lot of opportunities here. All right, next. It's not in the culture of Americans to lend money even to their parents or to their siblings. And if you decide that you'll have joint bank accounts with your husband, then you'll probably have some awkward messenger moments with your friends or family or relatives when they're gonna ask you for money, because almost 100% guaranteed your husband will not allow you to do that. And I know sometimes when your friends or like your kin from the Philippines will text you, they will say, can you lend me some money, and I'm just gonna charge you interest, so that you will be like somewhat encouraged to let them borrow. But guess what, guys? That will not work. Even like if you tell your American that, hey, this friend or this relative will pay interest, no, it's a big no. Americans are not sociable kind of people. You will not see them like going to neighbors and having like an idle chit chat with the neighbor. Most of the time we're just inside our house. Yes, so yeah, that's what you're gonna expect here if you live in America. It's peaceful and quiet, and no marites here. No gossipers. Here people are very focused with their own business. All right, next, I would say Americans are very practical when it comes to celebrating milestones or birthdays, things like that. They don't throw like lavish, big, outlandish parties for neighbors or for people you don't even know to come and eat and feast with you. You don't do that. Like if they celebrate birthdays, it's just simple. It's just with just a close family. And yeah, and that way they don't spend a lot of money. Sometimes, something again that Filipinos need to learn from Americans, because I know in the Philippines, every month we always come up with a reason to spend our money, or sometimes money that we don't have. There are some Filipinos, like when fiesta comes or when their birthday comes, they're gonna go and borrow money so that they can feed or impress those people that are not even interested with them. They're only interested with them when they have food. So, or money for that matter. Americans value privacy so much. Most of them are not into social media, and most of them don't want to mingle with strangers. And of course, if you're a Filipina and if you got here in a foreign land, you want to meet somebody that is also a Filipino. For example, you want to connect to a Filipino community, things like that. But you can't expect that your husband would allow you that, because my husband, for example, is very private person, is very picky on the people that he would let in his life. You've probably seen in social media that there are Filipinas with their American husband mingling or having parties, attending parties with other Filipinos. That good for them, but that's not always the case. Most of the time, Americans are very private. Alright guys, I think that's it for today's video. If you are an American watching this video, and if you want to add something, you are welcome to write it in the comment section below. And if you are a Filipina, and if you have questions, if you're curious about life here in America, let me know also in the comment section below. If you like this video, and if you want to see more of this kind of video, please give me a thumbs up, share this to your friends, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Yeah, it's very, very cold here, guys. Next time I'm gonna bring gloves. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you watching my videos. And if you got up to this point, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This helps me a lot in growing my channel. I hope to see you again next time. Bye for now. Have a blessed day to all of you.